What's up, students? This is MadKorean class. So as for self-introduction, so far you have learned how to say hello, my name is, my nationality, my job, my characteristic, and all that. And now to the most important part, my hobby. Probably the best way to sugarcoat yourself, to look cool. Now for grammar-wise, it is super simple. However, saying your hobby is not about grammar because there are so many kinds of hobbies, which means that you gotta know all kinds of verbs. For example, I like to watch a movie, I like to listen to music, I like to dance salsa, I like to Netflix and chill. So anyway, the most common verb for hobby is 하다. 하다 means to do. Now, since it means to do, you would ask, do what? So you need a noun that would describe what you actually do. So it would be noun plus 하다, to do something. Now, as for conjugation, how I like doing this, that would be noun plus verb plus 는 것을 좋아해요. It can be 는 것 좋아해요. You can include 을 or not, that's your choice. Okay, let's look at some examples. 산책하다. Now, 산책 is walk, and 하다 means to do. So 산책하다 means to go for a walk. Now, if you want to say, oh, I like to go for a walk, is 저는 I 산책하는 것을 좋아해요. I like walking around like a creep. Or 요리하다, which means to do cooking. So 요리 is cook and 하다 is 다. So 요리하다 is to cook. So I like to cook is 요리하는 것을 좋아해요. I like to cook. Now as my girl Cardi B says, if you cook, you gotta clean. To clean is 청소하다. So I like to clean is 청소하는 것을 좋아해요. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so these were hobbies that were done by the verb 하다. Now let's break it down by groups. Let's do sports first. Now sports is a good hobby both physically and mentally, and it's a pretty good way to impress a lady based on my experience. Okay, there are many sports that use 하다. 축구하다, to play football. 야구하다, to play baseball. 농구하다, to play basketball. 배구하다, to play volleyball. So you use the verb do to describe a sports that play with big balls. That didn't sound right. There are many others. 서핑하다, to surf. 복싱하다, to box. 헬스하다, to do weightlifting. 다이빙하다, to go for a dive. 달리기하다, to run. 수영하다, to swim. Okay, next verb, 치다, which means to hit. So when your sole purpose is hitting something, you usually use the verb 치다. So for example, 탁구 치다, to play table tennis. 테니스 치다, to play tennis. 배드민턴 치다, to play badminton. 골프 치다, play golf. So for big balls, you use 하다, and for small balls, you use 치다. Forget about that. And moving on to next verb, 타다, which means to ride. So when you're riding something in a sports, you usually use the verb 타다. So for example, 스키 타다, to ski, because you're riding a ski. 스노우보드 타다, to snowboard. 카누 타다, to ride canoe. Okay, so we have practiced some sports. Now let's move on to different hobbies using different verbs. The first one is 가다, which means to go. So 여행 가다, it means to go traveling. 여행 means travel. So, I like to go traveling. Would be 여행 가는 것을 좋아해요. 여행 가는 것을 좋아해요. Or 맛집 가는 것을 좋아해요. 맛집 means good restaurants in Korean slang. So 맛집 가는 것을 좋아해요. Now I like looking for good restaurants. And very common verb used for hobby, 보다, which means to watch. I like to watch movie. 영화 보는 것을 좋아해요. I like to watch Netflix. 넷플릭스 보는 것을 좋아해요. And no, it does not include chilling, you pervs. Or 듣다, which means to listen. So I like listening to music. 음악 듣는 것을 좋아해요. So 음악 is music. However, if you want to be more specific, hey, I'm into hip-hop music, you put the type in front of 음악. So 저는 힙합 음악 듣는 것을 좋아해요. I like listening to hip-hop, y'all. Or 저는 록 음악 듣는 것을 좋아해요. I like listening to rock. Or if you want to say my hobby is to play instrument, you use the verb 연주하다. So you use the instrument in front of 연주하다. 저는 기타 연주하는 것을 좋아해요. 저는 피아노 연주하는 것을 좋아해요. Now remember, guitar and piano impresses the girl all the time. Or if you like to dance, you say 춤추다. 춤 literally means dance, and 추다 means to dance. So 춤추는 것 좋아해요. So I like to dance in general. But once again, if you want to be more specific, you put the type in front of 춤. So if you want to say, oh, I like dancing hip-hop, you say 힙합 춤추는 거 좋아해요. Or salsa 춤추는 거 좋아해요. Okay, so we have covered a lot of hobbies and verbs. So let's practice a little. So for ice breaking, the other person will ask you, 취미가 뭐예요? 취미가 hobby. 뭐예요? What is? What is your hobby? And now it is time for you to answer. So I will just throw the random English word at you and you will try to answer in Korean. 취미가 뭐예요? I like to do weightlifting. You got it? The answer is 저는 헬스하는 것을 좋아해요. Okay, next one. I like to clean. You remember? The answer is 저는 청소하는 것을 좋아해요. Now one more. I like to play guitar. 기타 연주하는 것을 좋아해요. Okay, so in self-introduction, now we know how to say hello, my nationality, my name, my job, my characteristic, and my hobby. Now we got one last thing to do when we introduce ourselves. Tell us about your family. I have dad, my mom, or it could be dad's, mom's. I love my grandmother. I have an uncle. I have a little brother. He's an I have a big sister. She's such a bitch. Now in Korean, it may be slightly confusing because even though it is same little brother, depending on whether you're man or a woman, the word changes. Okay, that will be it for today. Make sure to review the conjugation and verbs. So you gotta know how to say your real hobby. You gotta know the version that would, sugarcoat yourself. Okay, so I will see you guys in next class and bye-bye.